Hoi hoi! It's louisity again, and it's been a while since I'm uploading or filming a sit-down video. Well, here I am again doing another one for y'all. Did you folks miss it? Feel free to comment down below if you did. But for this video, I'm gonna be telling you my not so nice bookish habits. So I think I'm gonna be exposing myself now. Some of these are not really like not so nice. I mean, some of them are like okay, but some of them might be not so nice. It's up to you to judge. So yeah, so I got this idea from Bookish Realm. She was reacting to some of the toxic bookish traits that folks, her like followers on Instagram, were sending her. And yeah, so she asked, and I thought like, I was reflecting on what are my not so nice bookish habits, so I decided to film something like this. So let's begin exposing myself. So the first one would be, I barely DNF books. Now it's been more than a decade that I, haven't DNF'd book. Like I haven't DNF'd like at least a fiction book or like a novel in the last like more than a decade, but I recently did not finish the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and yeah, just because the reason why I don't really leave any books unfinished is because I felt like I would like to know what would be my entire reading experience like in a novel, and so that I would be personally for me would be able to have a fair judgment of it. But like for nonfiction, I feel like I don't really like reading nonfiction for pleasure unless if it's like a biography or a memoir or an autobiography of somebody that I really look forward to know about. But like that book, I was like, okay, I was done with it. I can try to link down the disappointing reads of 2022 where I did talk about that a little bit more. So yeah, but I just don't like leaving books hanging. I know sometimes some people like, you just have so much time for life, but I just wanna make sure that I completely read a book so that I would have like more of an objective analysis, or like I would know like my experience reading it, because sometimes I feel like there are things that I would like towards the end that could like alleviate the rating. Because for me, if it was a fiction book and you made me not finish it, I would automatically rate it 1/5, so which is really low. And what if the latter part is something that's really strong or something that I needed to read at the time? So maybe those are the things that are running in my head thinking about it now, but like yeah, like I barely DNF books. So my second not so nice bookish trait would be buying all the books in a series or like the succeeding books in a series without reading like the first one or the previous one. Now, like if you notice my book hauls, like I would haul like a book, like let's say the 3rd in the series or like 4th in the series or whatsoever, and then I haven't even read like the first one or like the next one yet. And the reason behind that is because I have this sort of like fear of like, what if I won't be able to find the next one in the series, because sometimes like buying books in the series is a challenge, and as much as possible I would like to avoid like having a special order for it, just because it's more expensive. I mean, I've experienced it once, and like because I have no choice, and as much as possible I would like to avoid that. And the book that I bought as a special order was a book that was never like released here in the Philippines anyway. So but yeah, and the downside of me doing that, because you know how I feel about the Six of Crows duology, and that to me is going to stay as duology, y'all. That's just me. It's just my view and my mindset it's going to be. And I haven't read like Six of Crows, but I decided to buy Crooked Kingdom just to like finish the duology already in my collection. and I didn't like Six of Crows, and I was like, I could have used my gift card for like another book that I would probably love, or start a new series that I would probably love. I was contemplating between another book in the series and Crooked Kingdom, and I ended up buying Crooked Kingdom, and unfortunately I didn't like Six of Crows zoology, so that's like the not so nice thing about that. But hey, you gotta gamble. But I gotta admit, maybe for some people it's like it's not so nice when you haven't read like the previous book and now you're buying like the next book in the series, and like what if you're not gonna like, the first book? Do you think, it's like I would have this sort of obligation now to like read like the succeeding books in the series that I bought. So joke's on me. The third not so nice bookish trait that I have is borrowing books from friends or loved ones or relatives, and I tend to return them years later. Now, by the way, this is not entirely my fault. Like, well, aside from being like a slow reader that I am, and then kind of like sometimes I add them in my fate jar, 2020, the pandemic, like, I borrowed a book from a friend, and I already read it, but I kind of wanted to have like more photos that I can take for a Bookstagram, which by the way I wasn't able to upload like a lot of them anymore because I wasn't able to back them up well, and I wasn't uploading them right away. Boo-hoo. Here I am with my late uploads, just kind of like my reading pace. But anyway, so I didn't return that book, and quarantine came, lockdowns came, and I wasn't able to return it right away. I returned it like in 2022, and I borrowed it back in 2019 when I started working with my colleague. And I have another colleague where I borrowed To All the Boys I've Loved Before, and then like I returned it like years later when we met. So, but I wasn't, before quarantine, I haven't read the book yet, so it was meant to be that way. And I was like, okay, rest assured your book is like here. It's all good. But yeah. But hey, I returned books, y'all, because that's the thing, if I have the intention of owning the book, I could have bought one. So if I borrow, I don't really have the intention of owning it. Probably I would buy it off from you if I want to own it. But yeah, I borrow because I don't necessarily want to own the book. Alright? So I will return all the books that I borrowed. It's just that sometimes it does take time for me to return them. I don't want to like spend a lot of money sending it off somewhere. We will be meeting in person, folks. We will be. And I will be returning them. I promise that I return books that I borrow from people. Y'all, it's just sometimes it will take time. Okay? And the last one for this video is that this is a teenager me, okay? I mean, I was just like contemplating and reflecting based on like Ashley's video, and I thought about like, when she said about like checking out books from the library, I thought about my teenage self, my high school self, when I borrow a lot of books from the library. I check them out, knowing that I'm not going to be reading them. Now, way back when I was in high school, I think we were allowed to like check out or borrow like 10 books at a time. So like, let's say you can borrow 10 books, and then if you return a couple, you can borrow a couple more. So like at most 10 should be like checked out to you. And the reason why I borrow, and because I know that I'm not going to be reading them, is because I just want to be the top borrower or user, like I think in our batch or in our level. Or I think it is per like level or per the entire high school. So that's from like first to fourth year, like the entire, like, or I think it was per year. I don't really recall exactly, but we had like that way back in our library when I was like in high school, and I want to be part of like the top 3, not because I want to be popular or anything. I mean, no one really in our school becomes popular because they use or they borrow a lot of books from the library, because the reason why I want to be in that, I want to be a top user, is because sometimes they give like prizes. Like at the time they gave like about $10 or like a $10 worth of gift check for a national bookstore. So I wanted to get those because, you know, it's cash. So, and I'm vigilant when it comes to like the return date, so I don't think I've paid any overdue fees at all. So yeah, I mean, that's the cool thing. I mean, it's not like they said that we have to tell anything about what we read. It's just that we gotta borrow them. So so yeah, I mean, you can't blame me because I'm gonna be getting the prize. I'm after the money for the gift certificate. Let me know down below if you have any of these like not so nice bookish habits. What do you think about them? And if you have any not so nice bookish habits yourself, feel free to put them down in the comment section below. And if you've made it this far, leave a diamond emoji. And I hope you folks liked this video, and if you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. And also put down links and handles of my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Always be thankful and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all. Mwah.